Hey, welcome back to another video here on the Gator Overland channel. I'm John, and in today's video I'll be installing the 67 Designs integral rail system to the dash of our JT Gladiator. This rail system will also work for JL Wranglers. There are a handful of other dash-mounted applications out there to hold your cell phones, GoPros, GPS, but I went with 67 Designs based on the off-road credibility from many of other YouTube users, the reviews in general, and it's made in the great state of Texas, and I'm all about that. So if you're interested in a follow along for the install of the 67 Designs integral rail mount, stay tuned. Alright, upgrades, my favorite part. What we have here is the 67 Designs JLJT rail mount system. It's a kit that's offered on their website. It comes with the rail dash system, a small carbon fiber arm, and I went with the universal phone carrier. It also includes this slotted ball that slides back and forth on the rail system to adjust your location of the arm. I went ahead and upgraded to an additional phone carrier, another arm, these are the matte finish, and a GoPro ball. I plan to use the GoPro ball interchangeably between the two, but you can mount the GoPro directly to the top of the rail. Do keep in mind, do not be like me. If you get other accessories, go ahead and get other balls. I did not know that the balls did not come additionally with the arms, so I'm out one. So I'll probably get 2 or 3 more. The kit does not include instructions, however. You go to take a photograph with your phone, it should register the QR code there and it will bring you to a website where there is a 12-step installation manual, which it's pretty straightforward. It also includes this wonderful sticker, which I'll find a place on my toolbox for. But as far as the construction of this stuff, first glance, this is incredible. I was not expecting the construction to be so brute. I mean, this is dense. It's really impressive. I put my phone in here, and let's be honest, it makes it defy gravity. It's in there. I can't wait to use my phone there and then turn it sideways and have my controller for my drone be able to put it and have a landscape view and not actually have to look at my hands. I can see it on the dash. Of course, not while driving, but other than that, man, I am pretty excited about getting this in the truck. So without further ado, let's do that. So the rail device is a pretty simple installation. It requires the rail and some simple hand tools. It says to use small screwdrivers. I'm not sure if short and small are the same, but I have 2 and we'll hopefully be able to tackle it with that. And forms of marking. So I've got a marker and a little awl here. You end up having to mark out spots in the plastic because there are 4 additional holes that are required to mount this into the dash there for additional support. So that said, let's get after it. Step 1 is removing the rubber dash mat, and basically that is just a matter of pulling it up and out of the dash pad. There, it's got some little prongs that actually fit down in there, so it should go back down in there here in a little bit. So you set this just over to the side. We'll put that right there for now. Step 2 is removing these factory screws here and setting them off to the side. You will be reusing these. All right, moving right along to step 3 is just a test fit. You don't want to remove your 3M tape until towards the end. So we're gonna go ahead, try to get this thing fit in here to make sure everything is good and snug. That is a perfect fit. Step 4, marking your holes. Whether you decide to use marker or your awl. I don't know if I can get down in there just yet, so we're going to test fit it. Do a hole there and there, there and there. That'll give you the ability to make the hole without the unit in there. And just to center it up, I'm going to make a poke there, poke there. It is pretty thin stuff. I could feel it detenting in pretty easy. So now that that's done, go ahead and pull this out and see I do have the black marks from the Sharpie as well as my little prick. So they both work, just a simple Sharpie. Alright, after taking a second look at it, it seems simple enough. This dash plastic is soft enough to where this little awl pick actually can poke into the plastic enough to go through the thinness that it is and start a tapping hole. And I went ahead and poked 4 holes instead of just utilizing basically a poke or the Sharpie. The Sharpie just kind of lays out where you should put your hole. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here and then use the actual mounting plate. And then now that I have my holes started with this, I'm going to put in my 4 screws just to get them threaded in, and then we'll pull this out, make sure everything fits, pull off the tape, and go back after that. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and run these 1 screw into all of them to make sure that they are threaded in. We're good to go that way. Now that I have all my holes pre-tapped for that, we'll probably move on and remove the film, get it set in there, and do that. Alright, now that this film's pulled off, we're going to go ahead and just stick it right back into the dash setup, making sure that you get it exactly where you want it before you give it the nice, good force down. Make sure your holes are lined up, which they are. Now you're going to take your OEM screws that you took out at the very beginning, get those lined up in your spot, get your screwdriver, and remember, this is just simple plastic. You don't have to give a whole bunch of force. You'll feel it start to bite, but don't go too far because you could pull out those threads really, really easy. OEMs are in, and now we're going to go in with our 4 provided screws that we've already done the self-tap for. There goes the first one. You will need a shorter screwdriver than what I'm using here, but it will do the job. Shorter one will allow the screw to go in straight at the beginning, but as you get further down, it's fine. This one will not be a problem. 67 Designs does recommend that you leave nothing on the actual rail system for about 24 hours while the 3M tape fully bonds, which is no big deal. Okay. Last screw. We're about to wrap this dude up. Oh yeah. That is in there solid. That's it. I mean, was that a matter of minutes, and you now have a nice dash setup there. I may go back, remove this stuff, and trim off these tabs. That way the rubber down here in the bottom, you can still see the nipple insertion holes in there, and just to keep little things from falling down into your dash stuff. So I think we'll just snip that stuff off. As mentioned before, 67 Designs provides you this little slotted ball, and basically it works like a T-slot in extrusion. It is pretty much exactly that, but it has an Allen head, and it provides you this Allen key that's the tensioner on your rail system, and it has an actual tooth that you have to make sure you get lined up with the rail as well to keep it from spinning back and forth. We'll just slide that dude on in there, get it about this position. You don't necessarily have to tighten it down all the way here because obviously you don't know exactly where you want to put that yet. You'll still have access through the top to tighten it from there once you get it fixed out. It was really simple to put these in. Basically loosen up the fastener, slide in the ball, and put it back on there. So it's just like that right there. We're going to go ahead and put it up against the dash. That way it has a little bit more rigidity up against there. I'm not sure exactly where I want it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and put it right there for now. Give it a tighten up on the ball there. And we got it down on the dash, tightened up there, tightened up here. And the way this works, this little spring-loaded thing has really nice grippy stuff. This just slides over and slides in there. And I mean, there is incredible amount of retention on there that once you just slide it out, slide it back in. I mean, you really just plug and play. You don't even have to think about it. But just figuring out what best works for you as far as the position. If you're driving, you still have access to the radio, or if you want it further over or in, I mean, it's really up to you to decide where it goes. But for now, I have access to my phone. If I want to do my drone, I can do it this way, run my cable through right there, and be able to actually look at my screen and be able to fly whenever you're out on pipelines or anything like that, instead of having to actually look at the controller itself. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's it. Pretty awesome. Don't forget, you're going to have to get the accessory balls to have the additional arms be mounted to there. But with that said, that wraps up this project. Job well done. It's been about 24 hours since we installed the 67 design integral rail system to the dash of our JT Gladiator. I'd say I'm pretty impressed with the final fit and finish. It looks outstanding. You can definitely tell that it's got a good, rigid, robust design. You can understand why a lot of the off-road enthusiasts stand behind the product, because it definitely works. I went ahead and waited the 24 hours before I installed the actual arm on there. I know I did it in the video, but I did take it off. I don't think the 3M adhesive is for additional support. Rather, it is probably for a vibration barrier between the bottom of the aluminum bracket and the plastic dash pad. But it allowed me a little bit of time to put together the arm for this GoPro that I'm shooting the video on. Figured I'd check that out and do the last little segment with the GoPro on there. So I guess we'll see how that ends up going. But I am using the GoPro Hero 8, which has the vibration dampening built into it, kind of like a little gimbal. But see how that goes. Speaking of, if you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful with either your installation or making your decision, not necessarily for 67 designs, but for any dash application that allows you to connect your electronic accessories, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. I'm definitely going to be doing some uploads in the future. I will also, in the description below, apply a few links of other comparable dash systems so you can get an idea of what they cost in between each other. But with that said, thank you for watching, and remember, have fun, keep it safe, and just go. Thanks for watching, guys.